Pella 250 Standard and Premium Sliding Patio Door. Refer to the most current installation instructions on installpella.com for assembling and installing Pella product and for additional details on rough opening preparation for various wall system applications. Prior to setting the frame, complete all required rough opening preparations, including any sill flashing and other steps as specified in the installation instructions. Sill flashing or other opening preparation steps are not shown in the following process. Refer to the installation instructions for tools, materials, and specific steps needed to install your Pella product. Verification of all building and construction loads by a structural engineer is recommended. Remember to always wear appropriate personal protective equipment. Before beginning, use the checklist found in the packaging to confirm all the needed parts and components are present and accounted for. Frame assembly. If the door frame is a knockdown frame, please see the KD frame assembly video first before watching this video. Frame installation. If the frame caps and threshold covers were not removed prior to installation, remove them now. The caps need to be removed to access the out track to install frame installation screws. If needed, use a large hook tool to start the cap removal. Center the bottom of the door in the opening and tilt the door into position. Do not slide the door into the opening as this can damage the sealant lines. Check jambs for plumb and confirm there is room for shimming between the jambs and opening on each side. While one person holds the door in place, walk across the sill to compress the sealant to ensure the frame is firmly on the threshold, free of any humps. Place a level on the sill to confirm it is level, adding shims as needed. Place shims between the frame and the rough opening at the sill to center the frame in the opening and wedge the bottom of the frame into place. Insert a screw through the exterior nail fin near the sill on each side of the jamb. Repeat placing shims between the frame and rough opening at the head, wedging the frame into place. Measure the frame diagonally, confirming that the frame is square in the opening. Repeat placing a screw through the exterior nail fin near the head on each side of the frame. On one jamb, starting near the sill, 3 to 6 inches from the corner, insert and fasten an installation screw with shims between the frame and rough opening. Work up the jamb, spacing the installation screws and shims no more than 16 inches apart. Check the jamb with a level while moving up toward the frame head. Finish installing the top screw 3 to 6 inches from the corner. Measure the frame diagonally, confirming the frame is still square in the opening. Repeat fastening the installation screws and shims on the other jamb. Beginning in the center of the head, shim and install a frame screw, checking the head with a level. Finish installing the head frame screws and shims placed no more than 16 inches apart and 3 to 6 inches from the corners. Continue to check the head with a level. Measure the frame diagonally to confirm the frame is still square in the opening. Complete the frame install by inserting screws through the nail fin spaced every 12 inches. Apply sealant on both sides of the frame where the jamb and sill meet in the location shown. Make sure all jamb to sill meeting locations are covered with sealant. It may be necessary to slide the sill tracks out of the way to have adequate room for sealant application. Tool sealant to ensure proper coverage. Vent panel installation. Using suction cups, install the vent panel, the panel onto which the handle hardware will be installed, into the inner track. Slide the vent panel over to the lock side jamb. On a standard door, raise the roller adjustment to its maximum height using a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver. On a premium door, raise the roller until the measurement from the top of the threshold leg to the bottom of the glazing bead is 2 5/8 inches. Be careful not to over-tighten the screws. Have a helper lift the panel corner up to take the weight off of the roller when adjusting the roller. Slide the vent panel to each jamb and look at the reveals. If the reveals are not even down the length of the jamb and not consistent with both sides of the jamb, first try roller adjustment to see if this corrects the reveals. If roller adjustment does not correct the reveal issue, the frame may need to be adjusted. Refer to the installation instructions on installpella.com for possible reveal corrections. Hardware installation. When installing any hardware, always use a number 2 Phillips hand screwdriver. Assemble the interior and exterior handles onto the correct escutcheon plates. Measure the panel width to determine which installation screws to use. In this case, the 2 1/8 inch long screws are to be used. Place the exterior handle against the panel with the handle screw holes aligned with the panel screw holes. From the interior, insert the thumb turn into the lock. Place the interior handle over the thumb turn. Insert and tighten the insulation screws. Depress the lock anti-slam button and test the lock operation. Lock the keeper onto the door panel. Slide the door near the locking side jamb and mark the frame where the height of the keeper is positioned. Unhook the keeper from the panel and set it in the jamb, aligning it with the pencil mark transferred to the frame. Use the die line in the center of the pocket for the center reference. Mark the center of the top and bottom holes of the keeper onto the frame. Use the attachment screws to start a hole at each of the marked locations. Secure the keeper onto the frame with the keeper screws provided. Place shims between the framing of the opening and the door's frame. Make sure shims are in nice and snug to eliminate any movement. Slide the panel close to the frame to confirm the frame reveal is still perfectly straight with the panel. Close the vent panel and test out the lock. Do this multiple times to make sure the door is sliding and locking easily. With the keeper installed and locking correctly, finish installing the last screws. 4-hole keeper. Place the upper middle screw at the top of the oval hole and the lower middle screw at the bottom of the oval hole. 3-hole keeper. Place the screw at the top of the middle hole. Installing the last screws will secure the keeper in place, which in turn will help eliminate service issues in the future. Adjusting the play in the lock. On the face of the lock, there will be a flat head adjustment screw. Depending on the lock, there may be 1 or 2 adjustment screws. Turning the adjustment screw counterclockwise will move both hooks tighter to the panel, and clockwise will move them further from the panel. Make sure the fixed panel setting blocks are positioned correctly. One should be positioned near the jamb at the corner, and the other block should be placed approximately where the other edge of the fixed panel will sit. Install the fixed panel in the outer track on top of the setting blocks. Before securing the panel in place, make sure the vent panel is completely in the strike side jamb pocket. Slide the fixed panel back so the interlocks are engaged, but the vent panel is still fully in the pocket. Adjust the fixed panel accordingly so the vent panel has enough clearance to lock properly. Check the panel reveals by making sure the interlockers align on both the vent and fixed panel. With the fixed panel screws provided, secure the fixed panel. Install the screws evenly spaced into and through the frame leg and into the fixed panel where the weather strip is located at the top, middle, and bottom. Apply sealant around the exterior perimeter of the fixed panel where the fixed panel meets the frame. Tool sealant as needed. Frame cap installation. Prior to reinstalling the jamb caps and the head cap, apply dabs of sealant every 16 inches on both sides of the pocket on both jambs and the head. This will help eliminate any movement from the caps. Insert one end and apply pressure along the length of the cap to snap the cap into place. Install the patio door bumpers. Insert the top and bottom bumpers into the outer track and against the interior jamb fixed panel cap. Install the exterior vent side jamb cap in the exterior pocket. Insert one end and apply pressure along the length of the cap to snap the cap into place. Make sure the threshold and head cap is cut 1/8 inch under the max dimension. The measurement between the fixed panel and jamb minus 1/8 inch for thermal expansion is max dimension in the cavity a particular cap is to be installed. Measure the distance between the vent jamb and fixed panel to confirm the head cap is 1/8 inch under that dimension. If not, trim the cap to 1/8 inch under the dimension. Install the head cap. Insert one end and apply pressure along the length of the cap to snap the cap into place. Install hole plugs in the roller adjustment holes. Refer to the written instructions for additional diagrams, information on sealant, optional sill pan instructions, and more.